everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's the day. We're going to make the fun parchment paper clutch and journal set together today. So grab some, I'm using a vintage wedding gown, satin and appliques. Some appliques are antique and others are vintage. And we're just going to have some fun. So just grab whatever you have on hand. You don't even have to use this. If you don't have a wedding gown, you can use any kind of fabric. You can use any kind of anything you want to use. You could even do this with just paper if you want to, and then make your own ephemera. So I hope that you all are doing well and are having a lovely day so far. I know it's a Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I wish you all a blessed Mother's Day weekend, everyone, even those that are not mothers. So just everybody have a blessed weekend, okay? So let's get going on this. I don't know how long this is, but this is the kit, pretty close to what we are making today. I tried to put everything in the kit that you need. So here is a beautiful brooch that you could put on the front of your clutch once you're finished making it. I wrapped around this gorgeous rose lace, and you get quite a bit of it. So this is folded in half and then in half again to make like a clutch. And here's your kit. So this fabric, this lace is just for you to have fun with, right? Okay, so that's what you will get there for the wrap around your kit. So in here, I do believe are altogether 22 appliques, 4 handmade charms for your journal, and parchment paper, oven-baked parchment paper. And don't worry, we're going to make our clutch and journal together as soon as I'm done showing this. So here is one charm that I made that I just pinned onto the appliques. Now these are vintage and antique appliques. So these are so gorgeous. You've seen a lot of these and some are new. So you get a handful there. So beautiful, right? I love it. I love making charms. So that is to pin on the inside of your little journal pages. And then you get one organza bag with this antique applique pinned on. Just open it up. And I did give you 2 washi tapes. These washi tapes are to make your clutch a little bit stronger where you want to pin in extra appliques. So just add a touch of craft glue underneath and put this on your parchment paper. And here they are. They're just so pretty. I think they would look really pretty together. And then here, you could pin this on the inside of your journal if you wish. I don't know what it is. I got it at an antique store. It almost looks like it was on a necklace, but it has 2 hoops on the end. And I put bulb pins on them so you can kind of like pin it into your page. I'll show you because I have one as well. And then inside this organza bag are a bunch of safety pins and bulb pins to do your project with extra charms. All right, so there's lots here to play with. All right, so that is in your organza bag. And I do want to show you all the appliques, but just trust me, they are all gorgeous. It'll take up way too much time. Okay, and then here I used my tag punch and punched out some vintage wallpaper. And I wrote on here for your safety pins. So you can cut this 4-way stretch vintage chiffon and wrap it around your safety pins. And I will show you that. So you get a nice size there with this handmade charm here. Not just pretty. So I just have one available at this time. I will make more if you all would like me to, but I have upcoming projects that I'm working on, so maybe in the future. Here's another charm that I made. Isn't that just stunning? I love the rondelle beads. They're gorgeous. The way they just sparkle and shine. This on the inside of your journal pages. So I have it all together for you. And here are the pages. Okay, so here is the one that I pinned on front. This is from a vintage earring. And a vintage bracelet there. And I have it just dangling off this vintage applique. It is so pretty. And it matches the one that goes around the clutch. So this is so pretty. And I just have it clipped here to keep your little journal pages together. Now this isn't very big. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 2 little ones. I just lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This we're going to gather together and pin at the bottom of the page. 7. And then the back pages. So 7, 8, 9. So here's the ruffle from the vintage wedding dress here and here. So you get, it looks like about 10 pages there, if not more than that. So pretty. They're just beautiful. And then here is the applique. Now this one has the satin from the dress on the back side, because if I undo it, it will start undoing the sequins and pearls. So I left that there, and you could wrap it around your clutch. Isn't that just stunning? I love vintage appliques. They're so pretty. Let's take a look at the back. So that's what the back would look like. And you could even fix the applique to how you want it, right? So I did cut off the rest of this gorgeous applique from this, off this applique here. And it's the same one, so it matches. It goes along well with it. So pretty, so pretty. So I hope that you like this clutch kit that will be in my Etsy shop. And I did oven bake some parchment paper for you. There are a little bit of lines in it, but it's quite big. I had it to fit the clutch with extra because, you know, we just love that crunchy sound. And then I did tear your sheets here. You can play around with all these parchment papers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you know you want to put down your satin and then your parchment paper pages. So it'll be crunchy joy for you. So I hope that you like this and this kit inspires you to make something beautiful today. Alrighty, so let's jump straight into the parchment paper clutch, shall we? So here is this one. Now when this one is finished, I will put it in my Etsy shop. Let me move these appliques out of the way that I plan on pinning in there. And I have some fun things here. So here's that other jewelry piece that I'm going to pin in, and you'll see how I'm going to do that. And then I wasn't sure about the closure. I wasn't sure if I was going to put it on the page. I don't know. We'll just play around. And then look at these bobby pins. Now this is for something special. Okay. And then the brooch that I was going to use was this one for the clutch. Isn't that just stunning? So pretty. All right. So let me just move some things out of the way. And then the charms, we will look at those too as well. So, but let's make this clutch first. All right. So this is pretty big, right? Okay, so this is just a main piece, and I did tea dye everything. I tea dyed the satin, the parchment paper, and the applique. And I didn't fit the kit in the Etsy shop because I wanted you to play. So from tip to tip is exactly 21 inches long. So this one's pretty big, but they're so pretty. I love plain and 10 inches wide. All right, and then the satin on the clutch is 16 inches long by 13 inches wide, but we're not going to measure the parchment paper because I ripped it according to the clutch with extra to play with, because you kind of want it to hang out of your clutch for extra, you know, vintage touch. That's what I was thinking. I made one without the paper hanging out, and I loved it, but I really like it hanging out. So let's go ahead and start pinning everything in. So we have everything the way we like it, right? All right, so let's go ahead and pin in the main parts to this. Look at this jar. I found this at an antique store, and it came with, so this is the sugar jar, and I love it so much. It's so pretty with the Baroque detail on it. So I'm just using it in my craft room to hold my safety pins, you know. So, and then here's the milk, and I keep my, when I'm working on a project on my craft desk, I hang in the appliques that I would like to pin in the pages. So then I pin it onto my spools here that are just made out of digitals and cardstock, and I ink the edges and make it all pretty for my desk, and I put my favorite laces on here. So that's how I like to display on my desk what I'm going to use for my project. So we're going to pin these ones in first. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then, oh, let me show you something. So in the Crystal and Pearls kit, Marie from Cupcakes Pearls and Lace, I think. I'll link her. She made this gorgeous parchment paper snippet roll here, and I just pinned it to the back of my favorite washi tape so I could remove it or slide it off. And then I put this gorgeous brad that Doreen put in the kit, and I just put it in through the top, and then I put my favorite Swiss dot lace here, and then what Doreen's beautiful charms. So this just sits on my desk. So pretty. So this is my favorite collection here. She is on Etsy and on Amazon. So I love Wintertime Crafts washi tape. They are my favorite. Okay, so let's just take out some safety pins. I just want to, I hope that, you know, this inspires you. So, okay, so line it up how you want it, okay? All right, so it's so big it won't even fit in there. And you could make this to any size that you wish. Now you just want to do the points on your applique. So what I like to do is just, okay, so here's the top. And, you know, this time, and go straight through the parchment paper through the applique. So you want to pin everything in. And you can figure out where you want your top and bottom when you're finished. Okay, and then, so I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to put one there. So let's move those. So I'm going to try and put it in the same spot. Don't you just love that sound? And you know what? I need to make sure I'm even pinning into the satin. And you know, these could be any color safety pins and how big or small that you want them. Good. Look, I didn't go through the parchment paper. I went through that parchment paper, but I did not here. So I need to fix that to make sure that it is, you know, all pinned. This is so big. Doesn't even fit in the screen. It's okay. All right, so now we're going to pin it on this side. And I kind of lift it up so you could pin it in a little easier to make sure you get everything in there. The satin, the parchment paper, you know. And then let's do this other side. Let's see. Looks like about right here. Okay, see, I didn't get through the parchment paper there. Okay, so I have ripped through the parchment paper a couple of times. That is okay. I've done that many of times. It's okay. Okay, so I would say this would be okay. So let's take a look here. So what I like to do sometimes is when there's a rip in there, you could put some washi tape over that. You most certainly can. Let's figure out first which end we're gonna fold this. And yes, I do have to cut some of this paper off. It looks like this side is hanging off more than this side. So this probably should be the bottom. And then I will cut some of this. Let's bring it up a little more. You see how I didn't cut the clutch perfectly square? It is so hard to cut satin. You know what I need to get is one of those round cutters. That's what I should get. Now this is kind of sticking up and I really do not want to cut that. So let me cut some of this parchment paper. Because this is hanging out and I do not want to cut it, it's so pretty. I'm just going to tuck it in like this. Okay? Don't you just love that sound? And then we're gonna leave that free. You're free. You're free, applique. And then we're just gonna come in here and fold down and make a clutch. And let that hang down freely. Let's try to line that up there. See how pretty that is? I love that look. Okay, so that looks good right there. And I'm gonna leave some of this parchment paper too. So I'm just gonna cut some of this end off because it's just a little too long. It's not too bad though. And you know, I'm saving my scraps because I'm trying to play around, see if I can weave in and out parchment paper and sew it, kind of make like it's hard to explain. I'll just have to show you. Okay, so let's make sure that is good. So see, the applique is in there nicely and it's not moving around. Isn't that so pretty? Look at that. The tea dye. I wonder if I could turn this on there. Can you see that better? Is the light a little bit better? Let me see here. Oh, that looks good, I think. Okay, so now, okay, I'm gonna cut a little bit off of this side as well. No, I'm not yet. Okay, so the next step, so see, that won't get in the way there. Okay, so this is a big clutch, very big clutch. Isn't that pretty? So it seems like it's like longer over here because of the parchment paper, but it's centered, isn't it? I think so. think it's pretty centered. So I'm going to leave it like that because I want you to be able to do what you want with this. This is all removable. Okay, so I have pinned in 2 safety pins in here, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I am going to go ahead and pin 3 pins in here and 3 pins on this side. All right? So let's do that real quick. Let's make sure we get some more pins. All right. And the one I made Doreen, I put way too many bows. Yes, you can have too many bows. Can you believe it? I know I can't. So, so you want to make sure, you want to close off your clutch. You can fill your satin and your parchment paper, and you kind of just want to make it even on both sides so it doesn't look, you know, off. You want to do it even, you know, you want to make it look nice. But I'm trying to go for a vintage look, so I'm going to put the first one here. Make sure it goes on the other side, and I even put my bows on the back side. I had to use my little pokey tool to get it in there, and all you'd have to do is cut the chiffon off to take off the safety pin. But all right, and then we're going to put this one here. And, you know, if these are too small for you, you could order bigger ones, you know, because sometimes, you know, sometimes things do get too small and you need bigger safety pins. I understand that. But see, that little rip that I had on the inside of the clutch isn't really going to matter because, you know, it's going to be covered up anyway. So what are you all working on? What kind of projects? I love watching all of your videos. If I don't comment, and I try to go back and comment at least by the next day, because you all are just so incredibly inspiring to me. And all right, so that's all in there. Okay, so now let's do this side. It is so loud. Don't you just love it, though? I love it. So, let's make sure we're kind of lining it up here. You can actually really see. Let's see here. Kind of line it up. We might cut some more of this parchment paper because it's making it look lopsided, but it's okay. We love perfectly imperfect, right? Well, I do. Makes it look so pretty, vintagey. I mean, these are really small, aren't they? These safety pins, they're really small. Okay, I'm trying to make it even across. And then I think we're going to cut some more parchment paper off of this side to make it look a little better. All right, isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's close it up and see what we got going on. Kind of like it though. Let's kind of make it match that side though. And trust me, I wanted to do this live, but I have a lot going on in my family right now. But I do want to do a live very soon. Look at the roses. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? So I am not going to put a chiffon on the back side, just in case you all want to take that off. Now, I have a choice here. I could either put chiffon here. No, that won't work. So I'm going to leave that tucked in there. I think I'll just use the brooch for closure. I think that would be a better idea. So you could actually use this brooch and we can pin it on the tip of this flower on the applique to this flower. So I don't want it straight, so I'll probably put it like this. And you don't want to go through the parchment paper. I kind of like take my hand under the applique and pin it in there like that when it is done. Isn't this beautiful? All right, let's take a look at the back. Isn't that just pretty? And see, I like the crinkle. There we go. Pinned it in a little crooked, but that's okay. Do you see the netting in this applique? She is just gorgeous. So I did tea dye her, okay? All right, so all I have to do is tie in the chiffon on these three here, here, and here. So let's do that real quick. Where did I put my chiffon? Oh, yes, it's over here. It's over here. So see, I've already cut it into strips so it doesn't take so long in the video. So let's decide here. Let's make some decisions. So I love this, and the seller, and I cannot find this anywhere, but I did find a vintage nightgown that has the same fabric, because the newer stuff just doesn't look as pretty. So I just have to buy vintage nightgowns to get the same material, so that's fine. I'm going to cut this to make a bow. There is a lot of traffic out this weekend. It's like Mother's Day weekend, right? So there. So we put a bow there. There, now you can see a little bit better. And then, okay, so now we're going to put them here. So we got to put more bows there. And see, I cut, well, let's measure the strips here. It would be nice to know. So 7 1/4 inches, and the 4-way stretch vintage fawn is gorgeous. I mean, it is just gorgeous. So I take it, I fold it in half, I take the loop part and put it through the safety pin, and then just tie it like this. And then the end that has the loop here, I just cut it. So it makes a bow. And if it's too long, then you can cut it and adjust it the way you like. But most of the time I could pull on it and adjust it there. So that's so pretty. So I'm going to put the last 5 on here. All right, so I finished putting in that. And you know, it just tickles me pink that you all come to my channel and hang out with me. I'm just so thankful for you. You know I can't do this without you, because you being here inspires me to use my imagination to make something fun and inspirational for you. So I thank you all for being here and hanging out with me. I just love you all so much. Isn't that pretty? So there it is. And you know, when you pick up your clutch like this, if anything is falling, you could always put pins in there, safety pins, or you could even use this to tuck in beautiful cards or ephemera or anything like that. You know, it's so pretty. So let's give it a little stand-up test. Okay, so everything's good to go. So that clutch is finished. So I'm not going to put the brooch on here just yet. Now it is time to get going on the pages, the journal pages. So she is so pretty. I wonder if hey, leave me a comment down below what I should call her. It's always fun to get all of your opinions. I love it. so much. So I have a pile of goodies over here that I showed you, right? So I keep in the little baggie here the charms that I made just for this little journal. So I love going thrifting and antiquing, and I love finding jewelry pieces so I can make charms now. So I found these earrings and made this charm for the front cover of the journal. Let's see, let's turn on some sparklies. There we go. Isn't that just so pretty? I love making charms just as much as I love making journals now. I love finding vintage jewelry pieces and turning them into something gorgeous. So, so pretty. And then I already showed, did I show? No, I didn't. And then I made this chiffon, my favorite fabric and laces here. Chiffon. And I made this gorgeous tassel that she will be hanging in the journal. And then I made this one as well. Now this light baby pink piece came off of a vintage bracelet. And so did the rondelle beads. So they've been making rondelle beads for a while. Isn't that pretty? And then this piece here also came off of a bracelet. So those will be pinned into the journal. And then this gorgeous piece here I got from the antique store as well, with the hoops, just like the kit. I'm going to pin it in probably the middle signature. And then I have a few more pieces. These would be really pretty too, to wrap around a journal and make a closure. And then these, I got these from Amazon, and I like how flat they are. They're bobby pins, and I got gold and silver rhinestone bobby pins. I like to gather ribbon and lace in them and make a bow, and then I'm just not sure what I'm going to do yet. So that's why I figured we'd just play together and figure this out together, right? So is it hot where y'all live? Because I'm telling you, it is just hot here, like hot. So let me get out all my strips. I cut strips. And then, that way it didn't take so long in the video. All right, so here's the start of the journal pages. All right, we might have to take a break so I can eat a little snack. I'm getting very hungry. I can't think. Because I want to finish this all with you. I think it would be fun to finish it together with my friends. So here's the cover, and I love this vintage wedding dress because you can kind of like play with it and do this and make it kind of tear to make it look vintage, and I love that look, don't you? So that is the cover. And then I have all these gorgeous other pieces and these gorgeous other pieces here. Now, I made this parchment paper just by simply ripping it and putting it in the oven. Okay, so let's just get going. So let's make the cover first. So here's the cover. What does this measure? Let me see. So I got 8.5 inches long by 6, almost 6.5 wide. So that's a cute little journal in it. Okay, so this is the inside. So let's pick a piece here that I ripped off. And you know, I didn't measure the parchment paper. I just kind of ripped it according to the size of what my journal is going to be. All right, so this is the cover. So we're going to do the signature first. So let me move this out of the way real quick. All right, so it does get a little... actually, you know what I'm going to do? I might go ahead and pin this in now. Is what I'm going to do. And you know, every time I make these, they come out differently. Because a new idea comes up and I'm like, hey, let's do this instead. So I'm kind of just having fun with you all. Okay, so I'm going to pin this in here. Or did I do it on the... oh. I need to pin it on the outside. Yep, you got to pin it on the outside. Especially if you're going to use this for closure, right? So, for the journal part. And then what I like to do is put a piece of washi tape here. That's going to be the bottom where it's fraying there. Boy, time flies. It's already been almost 40 minutes. My goodness. It just flies, doesn't it? I mean, hang on, y'all. Steadfast to the end. So let's see. I think I'm going to, and then I put a piece of washi tape where the closure of the brad is. Let's see here. That's pretty. What color? See, this is why I wanted to do it live. Let's do this one. Yeah, I like that one there. So let's definitely do this. My desk is already getting so messy. And I'm getting so hungry. Okay, so most of the time, even with craft glue, it peels off of parchment paper. I don't like those numbers. There we go there. There we go there. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then this one has a year on it, which I think is pretty cool. We're going to put that on this side. It just peels right off of parchment paper, washi tape, even with craft glue. All right, there's our front cover. Now let's go ahead and put in our pages. So let's just go ahead and start lining them up because we got to pin them together. So this is going to be like this. So pretty. All right, and then I like that look there. And then this one, I think I'm going to put face down. The satin is face down. All right. And then I'm thinking, I'm thinking. Let's put it up there like that. And then let's put this one face up. No, we're going to do that on the... So let's see here. See if I'm even doing this right. No, I'm not. So you got to turn the satin over there. So I'm actually probably going to pin these two together. So one is face down, one is face up. And then I'm going to leave this one freely. Or I could, no, I'm going to pin it to this one. Okay, perfect. So we got a face down parchment paper, face down parchment paper, face up. Okay, so now let's do another parchment paper. And then, you know, I forgot. I want to put in, I'm going to gather this into the corner. This is from a vintage wedding dress, the same wedding dress. And I'm going to gather it like this and put it in the corner of a page. Like that. So that'll be hanging down something like this. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that piece right now. This is so pretty to me, these pages here. I love the way the tea dye took on the appliques. They're so pretty. Oh, and here's an extra one. Okay, so let's take this off, this page off here. Okay, so here's the front page, satin face down, parchment paper. Let's put one of these pretty appliques on the bottom, like this. Okay, so it's hanging down off of that. And then let's put our page. Remember, this one's got face down, parchment paper face up. And we're going to make that one page. And we're going to put that on top of that there. And then, okay, what do we need? We need more parchment paper. We need more parchment paper. I'm getting thirsty. I'm getting hungry. Oh my. All right, so I'm going to have to go have a snack. And then, let's see. So those are pinned together. And then we're going to put this one pinned to this one. So this piece of satin is facing up. Okay? And then we're going to go ahead and pin this big old page like this, but we're going to put this face down so that is facing out on top of the journal there. So we're going to do that there. Either way, it's shiny side of the satin or the more muted side, it's still so pretty. And then we can possibly pin that in with pins. Now, see, I wasn't sure how many pages I was going to do. So let's go ahead and rip this parchment paper here. And you know, the tea on this one took so pretty. The little spots. I like that ripped edge like that. So we're going to put that down there. And I think this is going to be our middle signature here. Okay. So let's take a look again. Here's the front cover with this shiny side of the satin face down. Okay, so we're going to pin these two together. And then we have this pretty piece here. And then we have the satin face down here with parchment paper with satin face up. We're going to pin those together. Then we got parchment paper, satin facing up. We're going to pin those together. And then look how pretty that is. And then this page is going to get pinned together with this one. So I do have one more. I could. Let's do another one, huh? Yeah. Let's do one more and then we're going to pin it together. And here's one more page here. And then let's do the same thing here. We're going to pin these two together. And then, you know, we could put this in the middle signature, face down, hanging down. Yeah, that'd be really pretty. That'd be gorgeous. And look, I used up all my pages. Good. All right, so now I'm going to clip these. Okay, so I got some clips, and just like with a regular journal, you want to, you know, clip everything in where it doesn't move when you do your signature. Except this little one, I need to get more bigger clips. And we're just going to use safety pins. to do our signature, okay? So I like to do two for the signature. So let's kind of crease it where we want it, like that, and then we will pin it in. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And you know, these little pins are pretty good. Where did we have it at? Right there. Okay, so I kind of do this right here, and you want to make sure it goes in through all the satin and parchment paper. So you kind of want to poke it through like that and bend your pages the way you want it. And now let's do the bottom part. So it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up when you do this. So let me make sure I get this in. Did I put that? I put that like this. Let me refix that there. Okay, so now it's ready to be pinned in. It's about lined up. So you want to make sure you go through all the satin and all the parchment paper. Kind of just, sometimes I put too much in there, but we'll just have to wait and see. I probably put too much in there, didn't I? Let's bring it back out. There, that feels better. And actually that is further back than I want to, so I'm gonna have to refix that there. Okay, so this is fun, right? This is so fun. Okay, so let's try to line this up better. And you know, I could just pin that in with, you know, extra pins. See if we can get this one right. Hopefully. I keep wanting to put too much in there. We'll just have to see. Okay, so it's not perfectly lined up, but it's still pretty. Okay, so let's take this off. See what we got here. And I will pin this in on the bottom is what I'll do with that. All right. So let's fold it here. And so that'll be your cover. Isn't that pretty? How it just layers. It's so pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and put our so we'll put those two in. Let's put in our ties in here, just like we did the clutch. You know, it'd be really pretty if you took that clutch kit and dyed it petal pink. Oh my gosh. Or avocado dye or something. I haven't been too much about avocado dye. It's so much work. And then you can achieve almost the same color doing petal pink. And avocado, I love it though. It's so pretty. It fades over time. There we go. And it almost looks like a vintage orange after a while on paper. I've noticed that. I don't know about fabric. It's just the avocado is so time consuming to me. I mean, it takes so long to do it. Not unless you all know a trick to do it faster. Okay, so we got our chiffon in here, and it's so pretty. Just touches my heart that you all are here. Now, let's make a decision. I guess we're going to go ahead and put the ties in here. So I pre-cut ties because I just didn't want too much time taken up here. Too much of your time. But don't get me wrong, I love being here. You all is what makes me keep going. So while your journal is flat like this, you can go ahead and tie in your ties. And so I just take a little bit right here and I just tie it. I don't tie it in a bow or not, but you could if you want to. And I just lightly tie it like this and leave this hanging, so whoever gets this one, they can adjust the way they, you know, want their journal. You can take it apart and make something totally different from it. All right, so we got our ties in. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and pin this one, and you know it'd be pretty is if we could pin this. I wonder if we could make it like a little pocket right here, right? Something different, like a little pocket. Wouldn't that be cute? Maybe. Or we can just do it like this. I'm gonna put 2 pins, but we need to decide first. Oh, hold up. Getting way ahead of myself here. I need to decide my pages first. Okay, so here's the front cover. So let's go ahead and fold all this. Here's the front cover. So isn't that pretty? I think it's so pretty. We're having clouds going in and out, so okay, so there's the first page. And then we decided we're going to pin. Why don't we pin these 2 together like this? Wouldn't that be pretty? Let me see, because there's the satin for that one. Let's start deciding on the pages that we're going to use, okay? So I think I'm going to pin that to that right there. So let's go ahead, and I've got my appliques over there, but I'm just going to get started here. So instead of putting a bunch of pins in the pages, and really, I don't need to put a bunch of bows. They're so pretty, but it was kind of too much. So I'm going to just do this here. I'm going to take these 3 pages here, and I'm going to go ahead and put this applique here. And I don't think I'm going to put bows on the appliques inside the pages, just too much. Okay, so there we go. We got our page. So this is our first page. This is our second page. And then was I going to... Oh yeah, this was one page, wasn't it? Okay, so I need to take those appliques off of there, but I'm just grabbing. We could put an applique on both sides. Wouldn't that be cool? So if we decide, we could put this one here. And then we could, oh gosh, that's so pretty. Look at this flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Let's put her there, right? I need to take the ones off the spools over there. Can I get y'all to help me? Okay. Okay, so let's put that in there. Okay. so pretty. Okay, so let's get this in here right. Everything's so slippery with satin in it. Excuse me. So you could put the safety pin on either side. So you just decide whatever you would like. I'm just going to put it on this side. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? And then I could put another safety pin in here because if it's actually laying down. I love appliques because they're so, they're heavy, right? Okay, so we have, and if I put a safety pin down here, it could make a pocket, but I might just tuck something in there anyway. You could tuck things in between the pages. Gosh, that applique is gorgeous. So pretty. All right, and then we have this. I think I'm going to pin that one to that one. Now I'm going to pin this one to here. All right, so look how pretty that is. All right, so let me just grab applique. Ooh, that is so pretty, just like that. Okay, so this is one page here, or is this one page with this one? Yep, this is one page with this one. So we're going to clip this in together, or pin. Clip, pin, nope, that's upside down. Okay, so this is one page here. I hope you all can see this. I don't want to mess up the applique. I'm trying to decide on a place to pin it in. Probably shouldn't have put it right there, but it's okay. Okay, so then we have one on that side, and I could easily put a dangle pin right through there. All right, so we are moving along here. So now we're on the middle signature here. Now I could put one on this side too. Oh, I'm going to fill this thing slam up. So I'm just doing the pages with you for now, so you see, but I'm sure you see by now how I'm doing this. So I could finish this and then come back and show you when I'm done pinning everything in, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is what we have. So we did the closure together. This is the inside of the front cover. And this needs a lot more decorating, but I've used up a lot of the appliques, including the ones on here, but I didn't use all of them because I found doubles that I've picked out. I'm still going to put these two beautiful appliques. I'm just going to take a ball pin, put it through here, and put it through there, like that, see? Alrighty, I am back from a little snack. Hubby bought me some chocolate covered cheesecake bites, and I had a cup of coffee, and now it's raining, so I have the light on and so we can see. It is so dark. I love the rain. It's so peaceful though. And while I was having my quick little snack, I picked out a picture on fabric, a vintage lady on fabric. So we are going to put her here. And then I was even thinking about calling her Anastasia. So this will be Anastasia's parchment paper clutch and journal set. So Okay, so let's finish this up. So there's only a few more things. While I was off camera, I just added a few more appliques in, and I'll show you that at the very end when we are finished. So those two little appliques that were on the spools, I was thinking maybe this one down here, and then aren't these pretty? And then this one up here in the corner, and then we can hang this piece off of the safety pin right here. That way, you know, this is some of her jewelry she used to wear, Anastasia's jewelry. All right, so we are going to get this going here. So let me get some safety pins. That way we can finish this up, and it'll be in my Etsy shop with the kit too. Don't forget the kit. It would be so much fun, but I was thinking about putting 2 organza bags in with this clutch because the clutch is so big, and I'll put some beautiful, gorgeous treasures in there for you. So let's go ahead and get her on here. And I was thinking, let's move her up a little bit. Let's move. So this is fabric. This is definitely fabric. Let's go ahead and pin this one in first. So we'll hold it down with a couple of safety pins here. So let's see here. I don't know if I want to go through the parchment paper, but it might hold better if I do. So let's place her first. Let's see. That looks good, doesn't it? So let's go through everything so it's nice and, you know, it'll hold it better. And then I'll put chiffon on the front. See, isn't that just so pretty? And then remember, when you take pins out of fabric, satin too, you could just rub your finger over it and it takes the hole away. So that's always nice there. Okay. And then, let's see. So we might need 2 safety pins down here. Let's see. How should we place her? Like this? Kind of like at an angle? Or we could do it flat like that? Oh my gosh, you could do so many things with this. I love these vintage and antique appliques. Let's turn it around and see if we like this. Nope, I like it this way better. So let's go ahead and put her in. And I'm even thinking, do you think we should just do 1, or should we do 1 here and 1 here, or just 1 in the middle? Let's just play around and see. So hopefully the light isn't glaring too awful bad. I kind of need to turn this way to get my hand in here. Make sure it's just need to get a finger in there so I can get it hooked in there. So let's do it here, and hopefully it looks okay on the other side. We'll just have to play around and see. And thank you all for hanging in there with me with this long video. It is so fun. Can you imagine if this was alive? You would have to come with me to get some coffee and chocolate-covered cheesecake bites, huh? You know, that'd be so fun to, like, I don't know. I have so many ideas. So many all the time. I was even thinking about doing a live, and then you could come with me. And this one doesn't want to close. Little stinker. There we go. Little stinker there. Okay, so now that is so pretty. Now let's take a look on the inside to make sure it looks good. Look at that. It looks perfect. That doesn't bother me at all. That's so pretty. I hope it doesn't bother you. Okay, so this one has the tie on it, so we're just going to leave that there. I may even fix it where it's a bow. I don't know. I don't know yet. I need to bring some more down here. And then I was thinking about putting this beautiful earring piece on the front up here through the little hoop. Let me get in closer so you can see what I'm doing here. Let's see. There we go. All right, so that's a lot better. We can see now. Okay, so let's quickly put the chiffon in here, and I could either put it here or on the bulb pin. Decisions. I guess I'll do it in the, let's try the bulb pin here. See if we can make that look really pretty. Yeah, the live would be like really long. Okay, like hours to do this. And I wanted to do it all in one video. I just think it's, I didn't want it to, you know, be more than one video because I have a lot of projects I'm working on, and would like to get them finished up so I can get my autumn and Christmas going. I have extra special things for autumn and Christmas this year. And then I'm super busy with my daughters a lot, Ashley and just both my daughters. One moves in and another one moves out, and that's why all my nails are broken. They like to hang out a lot together too. It's good therapy, right? Poor Ashley. Okay, so let's get these on here and move on here. All right, so the cover is finished. I may redo this one and tie it into a bow, but maybe not. The pin doesn't really bother me, but I hope you like that. So that's Anastasia's beautiful jewelry pieces she saved, right? That her hubby gave to her. This is so pretty. So I'm thinking, let's go ahead, and it's a little crooked on there, but it's not too bad. I'm just going to leave it. Now, I did add some appliques. So what I did was I took some safety pins and some bulb pins and just pinned it in. And I'm not going to put chiffon on there. Let's see here. Let's start putting in dangles. So, I want to put, I think, this one here. So what I like to do on hang dangles from the bottom of the loop on the safety pin. So we'll put that one there. And then this one, I ended up putting this one here. Remember this one I told you I'd put on the edge of the page. I'm just going to leave that there. Isn't that so pretty? All right, so this is really pretty here. And then we have two more charms. We have this one and we have this one. So let's just find a spot for these. And I think I put appliques in the rest of them. Okay, so remember the chain that we put in. So I ended up putting some chiffon around the hoop to just kind of soften up that metal there. So let's put this tall one here. Let's put this charm here. And then you can move yours anywhere you wish. Okay. Then it fits nicely in there and it'll dangle down. So pretty. Okay, so now let's find the last place for the last charm. And then we have this Oh yes, I forgot about this. Okay, so let's put in the charm first, and then we're going to come back and do this, okay, real fast. All right, so I hope that you love hanging out with me. It is quite long video, but I wanted to hang out with you all. And I've never done one this long. I think I've done one for an hour, but not this long. This is really long. Okay, so the charm will go there. Okay, so what I like to do when I do a ruffle on the edge of a page, I just take whatever I'm going to use, fabric, lace. This is tulle and beautiful wedding applique on the bottom. It is vintage, and I did tea dye it. So just gather it together and then figure out where you're going to put your little ruffle there. And I just stick my pin in here, and then I clip it. Okay, and then I usually find a spot that I like, and I was thinking this one here, and we're going to let this drape down. So what I would like to do is get a ball pin and get this in here. Let's see here. Well, I don't know if that's going to work. Worked for me before, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe I can let's see here. Let's redo that. Fold the ends in and then gather it together. That looks better. And then we'll do that there. And then let's see if we could just pin this in here. I'm trying to remember how I've done it in the past. And then you don't need a ball pin. Okay, so that looks okay, I guess. That's pretty. And then we need to put, I was thinking about putting something pretty on there. I guess I could maybe put a ball pin on here. That way it kind of covers that up a little bit, you know. And then let's take a piece of chiffon. Just kind of do that there. Do I have any more chiffon? Let me grab my supply. I always bring extra. Okay, so let's try that right there and see if we can get us a little piece tied up in here so it'll look nice. Just a little nicer for our pins here. There we go. So let me know if you like this video, and I know it's long. And we're going to leave it big to kind of, there we go. So that is so pretty, and then it dangles down your little journal here. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done with this gorgeous little journal here. It ended up being a lot, huh? Every time I think I'm going to make something simple, it ends up being like a lot. I just keep going, right? Don't you? Don't you just keep wanting to add things and add things? You just kind of have to make yourself stop, you know. All right, so let's, there is one more thing I want to do. All right, let's do this real quick. So I have this vintage Chantilly lace here, and this tea-dyed diamond white vintage satin ribbon. And okay, so I usually do it about this length here, and I fold it in half. And okay, so I brought some more things, so I'm gonna tuck this in there. It says this, and then a scripture. It says, I love her, with her parasol. Teach me to do thy will, for thou art my God. Thy spirit is good. Lead me into the land of uprightness. Psalms 143:10. I love scripture. It's so inspiring. So, I mean, it teaches us, right? So I'm going to put this in here like this, and I'm going to slide this into the journal. And then I was thinking there's a little bit of mixture of gold and silver, so it really doesn't matter which one we use. So I'm thinking put the bobby pin in the middle of the page. Oops. And then I usually put the ruffle on top. And then you just slide everything in here. And then you slide everything up. So these book pages are, I think, 1820. I should have brought in the book, the cover, because it said the year. It is so old, and it's Italian book pages. It's just gorgeous. So it'll fit beautifully in Anastasia. And we're going to slide this into the pages here. And then this beautiful rose applique. Isn't this just beautiful? I think I bought that from Pearl. So we're going to slide this in here. And we are going to put this beautiful piece inside here. So the kit will get one as well. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's just find a place here. I wonder if we could put it in the center towards the top. That'll be really pretty. Okay, so do you all want to do a flip through real quick of this before we move on? I want to do one thing on the clutch, and then we are finished. Okay, so let's flip through, and then there's one more thing I want to do on the clutch. All right, so let's flip through Anastasia here. Got stuff everywhere. So there's the cover with Anastasia's beautiful jewelry pieces. And here's the back. And I did pin this applique onto this one here to kind of hold it down some more. So this beauty ended up being so full. Look at the bottom. Just the way everything dangles. It's so pretty to me. So I will make myself one very soon. So I have a special applique I picked out. So there's the first page. So you get lots of goodies, lots of pins, tuck spots. You can put ephemera in here. You can slide ephemera in these little pages, and charms, and vintage and antique appliques. And everything is tea-dyed, remember? So there are bows, but not as many. Oh. So this is so pretty. I love the middle signature. I just think it's just gorgeous. And then we have this. So I'm just going to tuck that in there. And you can take this apart. You can move things around. Here's a charm here. You can tuck things up in here. Here's this beautiful lace tulle and applique we put here. So just lots of pretties, lots of very pretties. Charms, handmade charms. So whoever gets this and whoever gets the kit, you will enjoy this for years to come. It's beautiful, and we are on the last page. So let's tie her up. She is ready to go to someone's house. Do you think I should put a pin there? Because I could put, because I don't like the way it falls down. So let's do that real fast. Okay, so here is beautiful Anastasia and her parchment paper journal. Excuse me. And here, I will put this inside the clutch. But there's one more thing I want to do before I go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me and making this beautiful journal with me. Parchment paper clutch journal and set. So don't forget the kit, and this will be in my Etsy shop if you are interested. Alright, so there's one more thing I want to do. And I picked out this gorgeous antique applique. She is so yummy. And I like to just put a little bit more, you know, yummy stuff in here. And I gotta see how this works here. Okay, so I'm thinking about just putting a piece of washi tape about as long as that. There's a year. So we'll put this in here, okay? Well, or not in here, on here. And I'm not going to put any glue on it because I want it to come off eventually. So you could put glue on it and use it somewhere else. I'm just doing this just for if it'll stay. It may not even stay. Look at that. We're just going to have to see if it stays, right? We're going to make her stay is what we're going to do. And I'm going to put a pin, another one. That way you have lots of yummy, but I'm not going to go through the satin on the front. I'm just going to go, well, I guess I could. What's on the front side? You'll be able to see it, though. That's all right. We're just going to go through the washi tape. And the parchment paper here. And then we'll just put a little chiffon on there for decoration. And we're going to put this one over this washi tape. So you're really getting supply, right? A beautiful supply. And then we're going to put this one on here. And we're going to go right through the washi tape. That way we make it stay. We're going to make you stay. So there we go. We don't have to put any chiffon, but I think I'm going to real quick. And then we will be finished. All right, so there it is. So we made the washi tape stay. All right, so let's put Anastasia, her prettiness, in the journal. And I am definitely going to put a few organza bags in there. And definitely some more treasures. You got to have lots of treasures. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was quite long. I thank you all for hanging out with me. I really do. It's quite an experience. And I can't do this without you all being here and watching the videos. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, it fits beautifully in there. So 2 organza bags right here would be perfect, filled with little treasures. I will take pictures and put it in my Etsy shop for you. But this was so much fun. As Elle would say, so much more funner. You know, I love Elle. Legally Blonde videos, they're so fun. They make me laugh. Okay, so now let's put the brooch on here, and we are finished. Oh my gosh. That was so fun. I had a blast. Okay, so let's pick a spot here. So I'm thinking down here, and then I'm going to kind of hold it and just put it through the applique here, if I can. This applique is beautifully, and it's so thick. It's a lovely made applique. All right, so let's see what we got here. Isn't she just pretty? So Anastasia's Parchment Paper Clutch and Journal Set. So let's take a look at the back of the clutch there. And oh, I added chiffon on the back of these. Yes. So pretty. So I hope that you loved making this with me. I enjoyed making it with you all. And I had so much fun. What a time together, right? Oh, and don't forget about the kit. So you can name your clutch a beautiful name as well. And print you off a pretty lady, vintage lady, and put it on your journal cover, right? So pretty. I had so much fun. I thank you all for hanging out with me for this long video. This was quite fun. So let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And these will be available in my Etsy shop if you are interested. And this is the kit, and this is Anastasia's Parchment Paper Clutch and Journal Set. So I love you all so much, and I will see you soon. Bye!